All right, thanks for joining me for the second half of 2016. Starting in July, we were Humboldt Bay offshore trolling for salmon and back at the river before it gets too mossy. I love our South Fork. Back out getting bit by lingcod all over the place. Great bait summer, great ling summer, plenty of salmon, halibut. Got a bunch of people on their first lings, first salmon. Back to the river with the fam. Cannot get enough. Got to get it before it gets too algae ridden. Oh, my son beat me in a swimming race. He's getting big. To Trinidad, had some great guests. Then it was on to the bay with the Mays brothers. Got me on the halibut scene. I loved it. We had a blast. Went back the next day, got another one. Fed the whole fam. Back to Trinidad, had some wonderful guests, helping people discover the offshore wilderness. These guys hit it up with me. Salmon at the Cove, both got their first salmon. Great day, fantastic. Terry came and did it with me at Humboldt Bay Offshore, scored a couple big salmon. I went and got my own bait, and the next day Dominic and I went and got 2 big limits. Just a blast. Those are the days of your life. We went to Tahoe for late July like we always do, and Tahoe is the best thing outside Humboldt. But it was back home to do the salmon thing at the Cove again to close out July. Dominic scores another fatty limit. Early August came and I had some buddies come up. We did the HBO area. I showed them around. They got some nice fish. Had a bunch of friends around getting nice fish. Then we went and did this epic ab trip where we got a Big 10. Came back the same day, did the salmon thing on the bay. That was a great day. Back to Trinidad, did a little tour with Known Fishing. That was fun. More salmon on Humboldt Bay offshore with Bob. Bob scored some nice ones. Matthew, of course, had his own there. Plenty of salmon to go around this summer. Nathan scores on the Thresher Shark. Yeah, and Terry was there. We got some nice salmon that day, too. That was a fantastic day. Look at this, labs. Plenty of lings this summer. This guy caught several lings at Trinidad, had a blast. Dominic, plenty of nice salmon this summer. Plenty of good river family trips. Then Terry, Ron, and I did an epic Lost Coast trudge. Got some nice abs. Saw some friends along the way home that were doing their first Cape thing. Ron and I got scallops the next day. Then Andrew scored a halibut. Matthew May scores a thresher. Rob gets a big salmon. More halibut. Man, it's hard to keep up with all this. Ron and I went on this ab trip that was totally epic. 10-mile round trip paddle, 10.8-inch ab. Then we went on a crazy cool discovery mission north. Back to Shelter Cove, did some diving with a guy I hadn't done it in 20 years. There's my friend Paul Gurney. Great to see him. Got my uncle on it. Took more people out for more lingcod at Shelter Cove. Big cabezone for my buddy Kyle. Then it was river time. Still some ocean happening. Dave's 30-pounder was a big highlight, but river time was upon us. And even though there was still some ocean, I caught a striper on the Eel River, and that was really awesome. Kind of a highlight of my fall right there, just unique. I was there to look for salmon, but I was heading back to the ocean too. I got a 27-pound ling on a little solo mission and saw some buddies on the way home. But the river was calling me. I was doing my thing, taking people on it as the salmon were starting their migration. We tracked the salmon. I do some salmon survey work, and it's just a blast to see where they are and what they're doing as they come into the river and wait for the spawning times. We were tracking 1,000 salmon in 3 different holes from the stand-up boards before the rains came, and it's a blast. I was working with some movie makers that are doing their thing about the Eel River, and it's an important mission, and I was honored to be a part of it. Shane Anderson, look up Wild Reverence. He's got it going on. But spending a lot of time on the river and the streams, whenever I could be there, tracking what the fish are doing, trying to get a number, quality of the run, but also back to Shelter Cove for a little late October run. David and I got on the South Fork Eel and did stand-up 8 miles on 150 CFS. What a blast. Just staying on the river, looking at the streams, the gravels, the fish, little Lost Coast interlude here and there. But the streams were really calling me. We're looking for live fish carcasses and reds, and it's the Eel River Recovery Project. Of course, we did the Midnight Salmon opener. Claire really kicked butt at that. It was a blast. Dominic joined us. More creek, bears, big leaf maple, clean gravels, everything you want to see out there. It was still too early for the salmon, though. There was the first red on Bull Creek, so it was starting. I did some hiking on Indian Creek for the first time ever, solo. There were bears, there were salmon. I was thrilled to be there. We had carcasses, reds, and live fish. Stone Lagoon, little break from the normal, go do something up there. Back on the Eel River, through the big redwoods, took the family to see the creek and look for salmon. A little crabbing to mix things up. But the big salmon we're starting to show in December, and it's just so fun trying to capture some images of these crazy creatures. I got on creeks I'd never been on before, some restoration projects. The rain has been crazy, but it was back to the Cape, did a little rock fishing a few weeks ago, and then back on the bay for some crabbing. You know, crabbing is a great filler, literally. Took a family up to see the salmon spawn, and that was a fantastic trip. Took my son onto a creek we'd never been on. Excellent. Salmon, salmon, salmon. Big part of my life. I love these critters, and I love the places they go. Bobcat right along 101, my man David, documenting the beauty. And that's how the year wrapped up, with a steelhead trip to begin the cycle over again. Walker scored a nice half-pounder, and it's going to be a great one.